Hello and welcome back to Better Than Yesterday. My name is Daniel Hammond, and once again I'm joined by my good friend Michael Janse van Rensburg. And today we're going to talk about why you should start a YouTube channel in South Africa and Namibia and just in Africa overall. Then we'll also hop into our experience as YouTubers in South Africa and Namibia and the challenges we face. So yeah, enjoy the conversation with us and be informed that you'll definitely get valuable information on how it could be beneficial to start your own channel. We hope you do take that action. Michael, what's up, man?
Dan, thanks for that intro, brother. Yeah, it's good to hop on another video. Uh, this is a good example of practicing what you preach, because here we are posting a YouTube video, and I think this is cool, man. Cool to discuss because I think YouTube is something that a lot of people, I saw a study a while back where it was one of the most popular dream jobs that young kids had. This was a few years ago, I think maybe 2017,
Mm-hmm.
2018. If they did a survey and they asked young
Sure.
children basically what was their dream job, and YouTube came up pretty much the most. This was a few years ago. I'm not sure if it would be the same if you did the same survey in like 2024. But yeah, obviously a platform
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of people spend a lot of time on, and a lot of people spend a lot of time consuming content. But yeah, today we want to talk about why you should actually take the time to be creating content. And Dan, this is something that we've been doing for quite a while, man. It'd be quite fun to hop into this because I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
if any of our viewers actually know this too much. But both you and I
Yeah.
had a YouTube channel quite a long time ago, man. Do you want to tell us about those early roots?
Yeah, so thinking back on it now, we actually had channels, I think back when we were in grade 8, somewhere around there. I
Mm,
know you had your own channel discussing reptiles and snakes and different skits that you made. That was your passion back then and kind of still is today. And then I was also more on skits and just athletic type videos. And yeah, it was a cool experience. I wonder where we would be if we kept on with that.
100%.
But then yeah, I think we got discouraged quite a bit by our peers just making fun of us, saying, "What are you doing?" And just,
It's
yeah,
true,
kind
man.
of
It's true.
looking down upon it. But I must say that if we followed through, it could have been good. But just look at us doing our own YouTube channel now again. It just shows that it's something we do enjoy and it's something that we find is still a passion of ours. But yeah, tell me, Michael, the best video you can remember back then when we still had our own individual YouTube channels.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, I mean, this was a time when, like you said, we were quite a bit younger, man. And I think the
Hmm.
video that sticks out was I think we actually did like a feature on each of each other's channels, which was cool. Because obviously at that time,
Yeah.
I don't know if you had just moved to Namibia, man. But
Hmm.
yeah, we were sort of doing our own thing. Like you said, I had this channel of mine called Your Local Hobbit, and I was just posting videos that I enjoyed making. Like you say, skits, and at the time I had fish
Yeah.
tanks and reptiles, like you say. So, but I think this quite a cool video that we
Mhm.
did was like this dare challenge where I came onto your channel,
Yes.
and back in the day that was big. You always have these trends on YouTube, but especially back then there was a lot of like trends that were going on, and one of them was like the
Hmm.
dare challenge, so we were daring each other to do different things. I think I have a photo of this which I might throw up on the screen for the viewers to see, man. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
that experience, like you say, was quite valuable. Obviously, it being a few years ago and us being quite younger, but I still learned a lot from
Yeah.
that, and just what it's like to be in front of a camera, and also what it's like to put yourself in front of a camera out there for people to see. Because
Yeah.
I think, like you say, man, what definitely stopped me back in the day was people around me who weren't very encouraging. Like,
Hmm.
obviously, I had friends at school who, yeah, like just weren't really encouraging about it, and actually would end up like sort of bullying you and teasing you about it. and that definitely discouraged me
Yeah.
from continuing, man. I'm not sure if it was the same for you, man, but
Mm.
yeah, I think that experience, like you said, we've learned a lot from it, and I think, as you mentioned, it shows that we really have a passion for what we're doing to be back here so many years later and doing it.
Yeah.
But then I want to ask, so
Yeah.
for the viewers that are watching from Africa, as many of our viewers are, what are some like challenges that you would say
Mhm.
that we've come across? Posting our stuff on YouTube, on even on the podcasting platforms. What do you think is like different when you're doing it in Africa as opposed to the rest of the
Mhm.
world?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge would be that we, as Africans, are consuming, yes, we do consume a lot of content, but it's not necessarily African content that we're consuming.
Mm,
We like following the bigger platforms or the bigger uh, YouTubers, like just an example, Logan Paul or George Janko,
the
these type
Sidemen is
of
big.
like podcasts that the Sidemen, yeah, yeah, true. So we should actually look at like supporting each other, like the local content that we bring out. But if I would have to bring in another challenge would be that we're basically running this channel from two different countries. And yeah, sometimes the challenge, it's like it's always been the network and just us from two different countries. Obviously, we're both recording from our own phones or our own devices. So that could make it challenging and not give that authentic feel. But what's been cool is that we've enjoyed and we've still enjoyed and had very fruitful conversations in this way. And yeah, so there's these type of challenges, and even with the type of content we're making with self-development, it's not as big. People don't seem to value self-improvement as much as you think they should. And yeah, slowly but surely people are waking up to it. So that's why it would be a good time to step into YouTube, because there's numerous opportunities that is coming forth, especially in South Africa. If you look at a lot of YouTubers that are, or quite a handful of YouTubers that are actually starting to make a success out of their channels and starting to live off of it without needing to have an additional job. So there's so much freedom that can come with YouTube. And yeah, our challenge would also be like the time that we have to make for these type of content.
Mm,
I
mm.
know that both of us are working, and yeah, I've still got studies on this side. So to make the time, it's quite difficult to get
100%.
into it, but it's fun. It's fun content to make, and I must say, yeah, it's been a good 2 years, and we look forward to seeing the channel grow. Obviously, growth hasn't been as good as we thought it would be, but there has been steady growth. And yeah, you just kind of have to be patient. The challenge would be then to allow ourselves to push through content, even though we don't see the growth that we might want to see, but just know that sometime it will pay off, man. So just moving a bit away from the challenges we face, what's the benefits you can see South Africans or Namibians get from starting their own YouTube channels, Michael?
Yeah, man. So I think that starting a YouTube channel has a lot of benefits for before I even hop into the fact that you can be making money from it
Hmm.
and turn it into a business. I think what we've seen, as you
Yeah.
mentioned, perhaps still being a small channel ourselves. I mean, we've seen growth over the last years, but yeah, still a small channel, but working our way up there, man. But
Hmm.
what we've actually benefited from it is that it keeps yourself accountable. So whatever it is that your YouTube channel is
Very
about, I
true.
mean, we make content about
Yeah.
self improvement, so this is particularly
Hmm.
applicable. But whatever your channel is about,
Yeah.
maybe you talk about fashion, maybe you talk about music, maybe you talk about whatever it is, and maybe you're making comedy skits.
Mhm.
But if you have a YouTube channel and you actually commit to posting on a somewhat regular basis, as often as you can, whether that be once a
Yeah.
week, twice a week, maybe once every second week. But if you are doing that, it'll be keeping yourself accountable to that aim. And if you set
Yeah.
out, a lot of people will put out like maybe one video or two videos, and then they won't get that many views, and they'll decide to give up. Or even more people will just be too scared
Mhm.
to even post the first video. But if you commit to,
Yeah.
like I said, that consistent posting of videos, it'll keep yourself accountable. And
Yeah.
one thing that I've also seen with YouTube is that sometimes your impact is not really felt or seen as clearly. But the fact that like even if
Yeah.
you are putting your videos out and it gets like 15 views, yeah, the fact that you could have brightened a few other people's days, and whatever niche it is that you are posting about, there will be people that are interested in it. So even if the kind of videos you're making are extremely unusual,
That's
there's
true.
usually a group of people that are actually interested to watch what
Mm.
you have to post. So you just have to
Yeah.
believe that people are interested in what you're talking about, and believe that you have value to bring. And yeah, I think YouTube will pay you back in the fact that yeah, you're impacting other people's lives, and also it'll hopefully help you to stay consistent on that journey that you're on. And then yeah, another point that I would be
Yeah. No. True.
keen to hop into, man, is the fact that
Mhm.
YouTube can also just be a great way to promote like a business, and obviously a lot of businesses do this kind of thing, and even let's
Mhm.
say people who are influencers, and then they have products, and they're a brand. They build themselves as a brand, and YouTube is just a platform to promote themselves, and then they have products and stuff like that.
Mm.
So yeah, a lot of people do this kind of thing, and YouTube can be a very useful way to build yourself up as a brand, because it's becoming more and more well, it's YouTube has actually added more and more variety of the type of content you can post. So you can post long format content, which is probably what we enjoy doing the most, man, and probably what I enjoy watching the most as well. Still,
Mhm.
these days, long format being anything over probably like five
Yeah.
minutes. But you can also post shorts these days. You can post community posts, which are just texts and images. So you can use all of these different
Mhm.
ways of posting to build up your brand and promote all of the um, products and maybe your business that you're trying to start. And this will only bring more and more people
Yeah.
towards your aim and towards your goals. So yeah, I think
Mm.
YouTube is a tool. YouTube is a tool, and if you're not using it, I think you're missing out. And like I said, you whatever it is that you're interested in, you could start a YouTube channel about that, and I think it'll actually make your life
Mm.
quite a bit better to just sit in front of a camera for a while and talk about it, or show instead of talk, and
Mhm.
it'll brighten your life, and then hopefully in doing so it'll brighten
Yeah.
more other people's lives, man. That's what I would say on that.
Yeah. And just to add to that, I think other benefits is like you've just mentioned a bit earlier is instead of just consuming content, you're also making content,
Sure.
and that's so cool because then you can dig into your creativity, and it helps you to think for yourself,
Mm,
what am I going to put out there? What's my niche going to
it's
be?
very good, man.
So it helps you to keep that bit of creativity within your life. And yeah, you just take out a camera, you sit in front of it. I remember when we started this channel, we also said that this is a way of us documenting our lives.
Yes.
And if we go back to the first video we made and we look at what we talked about back then, it will be interesting to see how our minds have changed, how we've grown as individuals, what was our passions back then, like what we were talking about. I know it was about like investments, and then now we've kind of moved on to more mindset and the looking at the different types of emotions, like emotional intelligence,
100%.
and also just seeing or finding a way to learn from different individuals and getting inspiration from that, and also just through their lives using them to inspire others. And yeah, there's benefits that come that we won't necessarily see on the channel itself, but there's quite a few young guys that have come to me and said how this content that we bring out has benefited them and also made them better people. And in that you find purpose, and it gives you that satisfaction that another person is actually benefiting.
That's very true, man. Couldn't agree more, man. So yeah, our challenge to you guys then after listening to us ramble on about YouTube is to actually get started yourself. Don't just listen to this, but instead actually, yeah, the next time that you've got a bit of spare time, pick up the camera. I mean, you can use your phone. A lot of people might pull out the excuse that, oh, I don't have the equipment, I don't have a camera, I don't have a microphone. But if you've got a phone, you've got all you need. So yeah, take the time to talk about what you're passionate about and try something out. I don't think that you will regret it. One piece of advice I would say is don't listen too hard to what other people are saying, because you might get some haters, as they say. You might get people who are speaking down on you. We definitely had that, and like we mentioned earlier, man, we sort of let it get to us the first time around. But yeah, there's always gonna be people like that, and then there's always gonna be people that are actually really like what you are doing. So I'd say rather focus on that, and yeah, focus on the benefits that it provides to yourself, and who knows where it could go from there. You could be the next Mr. Beast or something like that, man. It'd be great to see some really, really big and successful channel coming out of South Africa or Namibia, and maybe Africa in general, man. I think that would be fantastic. But yeah, but it's been cool. It was cool to go down memory lane with you, hopping into yeah, our channels. I'm gonna say rest in peace to Dan Chan. That was a legendary channel back in the day. But yeah, man, appreciate the conversation and appreciate everyone that has been watching and listening. Yeah, please do consider subscribing and joining us here at Better Than Yesterday for yeah, in conversations that will hopefully inspire you to improve yourself in a holistic way. But we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Please do leave a like and share this video if you want us to continue to do well and to reach more and more people around the world. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you in the next one. Much love from Better Than Yesterday.